Well, hello friends, Dare to be here, and I'm finally back with another voiceover video. Hit it, Jokwon! As some of you know, in my most recent unpopular K-pop opinions video, I briefly touched on the importance of an artist or group name in K-pop in regards to search engine optimization. For this video, I wanted to elaborate a little more on that and go over the top 20 of the worst K-pop artists and group names. Now this time around, for those of you who hate the sound of my voice, I have now put subtitles so you can mute the video and watch it on silent. You're welcome! You'll come to learn through this video that naming a group is everything, and it's sad to think that not enough proper research is done before settling on a K-pop group name, because in some cases, it might just have been the hindrance in allowing them to succeed. To measure this, I did think about using Google keywords as my method in determining the worst ones, but that gets kinda icky. So I wanted to simplify it and go strictly off the amount of search results the artist's name has to compete with. To give you a frame of reference, unique K-pop names like SHINee and 21 only have around 50 million and 20 million search results respectively. The numbers I'm going to be discussing in the video are way bigger than that. And so without further ado, let's get on with the list. Oh, and if you're one of those easily butthurt people that can't accept facts, then please press the back button on your browser and exit this video. Thank you for your understanding. Number 20. H.A.M. The name H.A.M. alone already just screams sexy, because who doesn't love some good bacon? Well, the vegans certainly don't, so there goes that potential demographic of fans. And coming in at about 422 million results, H.A.M., which stands for Heart and Mind, was a short-lived girl group that debuted in 2009. It's a shame they had to compete with pigs in searches, because one is always going to be more loved than the other. Number 19. Stellar. You would think that with a group name like Stellar, their search rankings would live up to the name. But sadly, the incredibly underrated girl group Stellar had to compete with about 515 million search results. And in my search for Stellar alone, I went through 18 pages on Google and still couldn't even find one thing related to the group, sadly. And when you're in the SEO world like me, you'll come to learn that the best place to hide a dead body is page 2 of Google, because nobody goes there. Number 18. The Legend. Another unfortunately short-lived K-pop group who didn't get the proper treatment, these boys competed with around 551 million results, competing against movies, TV series, Zelda, Pokemon, and many other daily popular things that are legendary. And in this case, we're not even talking about Boa here. Okay, just had to slip that in there. Number 17. Rain. Rain back in the day was huge. Luckily for him, the internet and search engines didn't play as much of his role at the start of his career in 2002. Fast forward to today, and he's now competing against Mother Nature herself, and let me just say she could be quite the bitch. Number 16. M.I.L.K. Did you know that SM debuted a girl group under their sister label back in 2001? I mean, they debuted at a time where the SEO didn't exactly matter in this case, but it's still a shitty name, let's be honest here. And with 745 million search results, they had no shot today with that kind of name. Number 15. Winner. Now, before you YG stands start tracing my IP address to have me killed, let me just say the name Winner in and of itself is a very highly searched word, coming in at 800 million searches. Winner is incredibly lucky to be a YG group, a label with a loyal fan base, because if they were under any other company, their successes in the searches wouldn't have been as high. Number 14. TWICE. Now, Now, JYP stands Hold Your Fire 2, I Value My Life Here, same thing as Winner. They're very fortunate to be coming from one of the big three companies in Korea. A name like Twice is in 810 million search results, not exactly like ooh ah if you know what I mean. Number 13, Secret. Being a K-pop fan back in 2010, do you know how difficult it was for me to find Secret's song Madonna? Because, you know, the arguable queen of pop Madonna has a famous song called Secret. Lord, who thought that was a good idea? The word secret is found in 836 million search results. Internationally for them, it was difficult to compete, sadly. Shame, because I loved their music. Number 12, Boyfriend. Ha! Bet you all thought they would be higher since I used him as my example for my unpopular K-pop opinions video. Surprise, surprise, they're not as bad as some of the other ones here. With 848 million searches, Boyfriend struggles to compete with folks looking for some dick, and as I've said before, very, very few straight males want to stan a group called Boyfriend, so the name isolates demographics. Boyfriend has some great music, and K-pop fans have slept really hard on them as the power of SEO has risen tremendously in the last 5 years. Number 11, Rainbow. $870 million searches for that pretty little thing in the sky that might lead you to a pot of gold. Someone should have told DSP that a pot of gold wasn't going to be found at the end of the rainbow for them, because they done fucked up like they've done with most of their groups. There, I said it. Number 10, Speed. It's over tonight. No, 이렇게 over tonight. 난 이제는 우리 둘이. Another K-pop group that had so much potential and talent, Google was able to tell me in a record 0.9 seconds that the K-pop group had to compete with over 1.3 billion searches. Yes, billion. Ah, y'all missed out, just saying. Number 9, Highlight. 찌푸리지 말아요. Baby, 너는 내게 더 예뻐. 그렇게 새콤 표정하지 말아요. With the rise of beauty tutorials and sportscasters giving the highlights of today's games, for example, K-pop's Highlight has to work against 1.37 billion searches. Luckily for them, they have the loyal fans from their Beast days working hard to keep them relevant in the searches. Number 8, Double-A. Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, not exactly the best acronym to be associated with, but there's also American Airlines out there too. You're a K-pop group going up against one of the biggest airlines in the world with 1.44 billion searches. Double-A, you can get an A for effort at least, and I'll give you 2 for that. Number 7, Touch. I don't even know where to begin with this. Their debut single was called Me. So yeah, searching for Touch Me on Google is going to get you many other things, and many including not safe for work ones, before you ever get to this K-pop group. There's over 2.1 billion searches for Touch, and I can assure you that it gets a lot more action than I will ever get. Number 6, G.O.D. Let me first point out that I hate it when there's a symbol in a name, because Google will hardly ever recognize the symbol in searches. So when you search for G.O.D. with the periods, you will still get God, and there's no competing against that. You could try, but good luck. Almost 2.5 billion searches now, and G.O.D. was lucky to be a first-gen group that didn't have to worry about international success back then. Number 5, Favorite. Baby, let that one sink in. There's a K-pop group called favorite. Are you just asking for us to facepalm ourselves? 3.42 billion searches, and you're basically hoping for the best on people searching favorite K-pop on Google. Number 4. H.O.T. Here we go again with another one that uses symbols. H.O.T. was very lucky to have reigned back in the day with barely any internet. With almost 6 billion searches nowadays, they're not looking so hot. See what I did there? Okay, I'll move on. Number 3. History. Okay, who are the history buffs out there? With 6.3 billion searches, people all over the world are looking for something historical, and it's sad to say that the K-pop group History will go down in history as the guys who sexily lifted their shirts and might just die and have one of the worst K-pop names out there. Number 2, 100%. For those who follow me will know how much I love 100% and want nothing but the best for these guys. They are literally the most underrated group out there. But this group takes my gripe for using symbols a step further. By making you use the shift key to find where the fuck that percentage sign is located. Ain't nobody got time for that. And Google doesn't either, so it's not even relevant in the searches. Over 22 billion searches, 100% is mostly relying on the Korean name because 100 is not doing them any favors. Gah! Don't sleep on talent, people! Okay, before I get to the number 1, let me run through some honorable mentions real quick. There is a group called K-pop with an apostrophe. They were from 2001 and disbanded in 2004, but let's all just be thankful that they didn't have to work with that name in this day and age. Next, K-Much. I don't have much to say on this one, but it's a good thing they realized how dumb that was and changed their name to B.A. G.NA. Another artist with a symbol in her name. Back then, though, you couldn't type her name in the search bar. It would redirect you to an unknown URL. Nowadays, searching her name will show you her search results, but that feature was not around back in 2010. And BoA. Her English debut back in the US in 2008 and 2009 was challenging because she couldn't even get a website with her name because she was competing against Bank of America. She still is, and Snakes, of course, too. And finally, the number 1 worst K-pop name of all time is, drumroll please, I. No, the letter. I mean, there was a project group called S back in the day, which is another honorable mention, but the letter I takes the cake. A whopping 25.27 billion searches, that is. Sweetie, use your real name, Cha Yoon-ji, because that one-letter bullshit is getting you nowhere. There's too many narcissistic people out there, and don't be one of those. Well, there you have it, folks. This is the top 20 worst K-pop names of all time. Did I miss anyone? Did I overlook someone so much that they were lost in the depths of the Google searches? Because that's very possible. Thank you all so much for watching and hope you enjoyed this. Please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more content from me. While you're here, please go check out many more of my works and see you next time.